Welcome back to the We Got Notes podcast. Today, for season 2, episode 4, we're going to get into magazine dreams.
Magazine dreams, nightmare, everything else.
Yeah.
Like it's wow. I almost think that this movie should be studied in some sort of like communication class. Like, because there's a lot of things you could study about it. Like there's PR crisis elements. There's just
I'm glad you said that because I was like, are we going to get into
you,
how
you can't ignore it. You can't you that's the problem with this film is you cannot talk about magazine dreams without talking about the lead, Jonathan Majors, and everything that he brought to the table and his multiple bags.
Yeah, like the personal overshadowing the professional, separating the person from creative. There are many hard lines that I have with other artists, which we'll get into in another day and time, where I'm like, no, not going to happen.
But then the biggest problem with magazine dreams is all about Jonathan Majors' personal baggage, and then the character in the movie almost mimics the real life person
Yo,
and was
art
doing sort
imitating
of the
life.
same and was doing sort of the same things in the movie that the actor did in real life. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, is right.
I'm gonna stick with the black actors that have had some personal baggage that bled over into their film releases. Nate Parker, Nate Parker comes to mind, when he was doing the Nat Turner movie, and all of a sudden they came out that what was it? Did he have raped someone while he was in college or whatever? But that didn't bleed into like the film didn't mimic the allegations. It's almost like Magazine Dreams, the film mimics the allegations, which really was like created sort of like this troubling feeling as you're watching.
It almost makes it a little bit uncomfortable to watch because
very. I was all right. So there's so much here.
Let's give it before we get into let's give a little breakdown first of Magazine Dreams before we get into
the actual film. Yeah, let's be fair to the film. Break down the film because I do have one very important thing I do want to say about the movie and the performance, but break it down for the people because not a lot of people have seen this movie.
I don't think many people, unless you're in the industry or you're kind of a fan still.
Are you related to Jonathan Majors?
You auntie or uncle. It says Magazine Dreams follows Killian Maddox, a mentally ill grocery store worker obsessed with bodybuilding. He lives with his grandfather as a result of his father committing murder-suicide against his mother. His dreams to be the best in bodybuilding aids in creating negative behaviors, with the steroids he takes to support his physique, leading to physical ailings. Killian has frequent, reoccurring emotional outbursts and appears unable to express his true emotions. This premiered in 2023 at Sundance.
Yes, way back in the day.
It's a drama. It was supposed to come out at the end of 2023. I think it premiered in like January. It's supposed to come out in December.
It made a huge splash at Sundance.
It won an award at Sundance.
Yes,
Critics loved it.
The buzz was strong.
Buzz is great. Then a strike happens in Hollywood. Then Jonathan Majors is caught on camera in a situation with his then girlfriend. This is now fast forward. The film comes out March of 2025. You can stream it on all platforms, I believe, like the majority.
Now you can? Okay.
Now you can for like $19.99, which is kind of pricey. But
they got to get that money back. They lost a lot of money. They got to get the money back. This film's been through some stuff.
The director, Elijah, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I'm not familiar with the director.
Elijah Bynum. Elijah has worked with Timothée Chalamet. He is like a Sundance, South by Southwest director. People like his stuff. He's worked with Taylour Perry with on Deliverance. He was one of the writers on that, and this is like his third film So this also hurts him too. He's a young, like I think he's
No,
a
it hurt. It hurt.
38-year-old black male director. Like
it hurt everybody. Jonathan Majors, for a young black, primarily unknown actor, was as hot as you could get.
Hot.
Like
at 35. He's only 35.
And he had only been in a handful of movies. Like, I first discovered him in The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Like, but that wasn't a major film. Like, this guy, and then, you had the TV series Lovecraft Country.
Loved that series. That series should have gotten more seasons, but I digress.
Right. And then this guy was in a Marvel movie. And
The Harder They Fall. Let's not forget that one.
The Harder They Fall, which I absolutely positively love. His future, like I've never seen like a career in which someone's future had been anointed to be as hot as his path was about to become.
Yes, he went to the Yale School of Drama.
It was like everything, all things Jonathan Majors. Like when I say he was literally about to blow up, they set it up to where he was literally about to blow up. I almost thought, damn, is this Emma Stone wearing a black man's costume? Because they set him up like that. Like
he had the alley-oop. He was in Creed as well.
Yes, he was. He was. They were ready. They were ready. They were like, he's Paul Robeson rolled up into Sidney Poitier vibes with Denzel Washington box office potential.
And I know that you've interviewed him. I remember the last interview that I had with him was for when you talked to him, he was like a theatrical actor, very kind of like guarded, maybe a little bit more introverted, very much an actor presenting.
Oh, he did. No, his whole voice delivery,
his demeanor
and tone and demeanor did not match the outer shell.
Not at all. Like when I found out that he was as young as he is, I was like, oh, he was presenting at least 5, 7, 10 years older.
Yes.
Professionally. Like,
yeah. No, he was. So this magazine Dreams, to go back to the film, baggage aside, is actually an incredible movie. If this dude didn't have any personal trauma, he would have been nominated for an Oscar.
100%. When you physically change your physical aesthetic the way that he did, I'm sorry, the dedication, the mental fortitude, the meal prep of it all to become a bodybuilder, these are what little Oscar conversations happen in restaurants and parties. Like, when you change your body that dramatically, man.
And it was a strong performance, though, because the character had a lot of things swimming in his head, and he pulled them. I mean, it's a dark movie. It's not an easy movie to watch.
Because this dude that you say call it dark. I call it all too real, because I feel like this is what is really happening to a lot of people. A lot of the threads in this film: suicidal ideation, food deserts, Black males in counseling, police brutality, caregiving for either your parent, your grandparent when you become a certain age, like, and then on top of that, being on the spectrum. Like, there are so many topics in here that are like hitting it out of the park.
It's an incredible performance, and it's all too bad. It all got clouded because of an unfortunate personal incident. And I hope he can survive this, because if he gets an opportunity to do what he delivered in Magazine Dreams, oh my goodness.
Yo.
Like, if I had to do if there was an actor's draft right now, and we're putting everything aside, just based on pure talent, he's a #1 pick.
I don't disagree. With this performance in this film, I don't disagree.
He's a #1 pick, which makes everything even more sad. Like, he's a #1 pick. Like, he went toe to toe with Michael. He went toe to toe with Michael B. Jordan in Creed. Who was more captivating? Look at that all-star cast and The Harder They Fall. What was the most captivating?
Listen, points are being made. So do
and
you
Idris Elba's no punk. He was, I mean,
yeah.
So what were you going to say?
Do you think they should have held the film longer than 2 years? Because I think he got convicted. He got found guilty on the 2 counts in like 2023. He had like, he's doing like, I don't know, a year, 11 months of like anger management. Should they have kept this on the shelf for another 3 to 5 years?
Man, these producers be wanting their money back. I'm surprised they held it as long as they did. I mean, from a business aspect, it's no. Too many mouths need to be fed. It's one of the more incredible movies I've seen this year, but you already know it's not going to be in contention for anything, and he's not going to be in contention for anything. The movie was dead on arrival, and I know this guy, he's trying, I mean, they did a promotional junket for it. He's trying hard. I actually sat down and interviewed him. He was great. He was open. He was honest. But did the viewers of my newscast want to see that? No, because it didn't. The segment didn't do well. So, and I know he's been very apologetic and he's been trying to explain the situation. And, you know, I got open arms for the guy, but we all know how society rolls. Like, it may never happen again for him.
Yeah, it's too soon, and it's sad because that dinner date monologue that he performed to perfection. He played Killian to perfection. Like you said, it actually kind of skews on the dark side, can be a little bit uncomfortable to watch. I think it's too soon. I think you got to Robert Downey Jr. this and keep it on the shelf, you know, for a little longer, like another.
But can he though? He's not. He wasn't born with the assets that Robert Downey Jr. was born with.
Facts, big facts. And I do have to say, there was, as dark as this film could be, I don't know about you, but every time he started writing his letter and he ended it, I was like, your biggest fan, Stan. Every time.
No, it had its moments. It's an excellent film with it's a really, really, really powerful performance, man. I was just like, this dude, wow. And then I'm like, the stuff that you got penalized for that you did in real life, man, what a travesty.
It's a travesty. I mean, it's a great, I called it an all too real mental health saga wrapped in a bodybuilder thong. Like,
that's a great, you can't describe that movie any better than that.
It's so good and so sad that people won't probably see this. And I did have a question. I know we got notes, but I have questions.
What's the question?
Did he lose his virginity to the other bodybuilder?
That's what was alluded.
Because I know there was lots of porn being watched on the laptop.
That's what was alluded, but they don't make it clear.
Okay, because I wasn't sure.
That's what was alluded. But they leave it for you. You, the viewer, must decide. And okay. I decided yes.
Okay, you decided yes. I kind of did too, because there was a shout out to Taylour, Paige, great actress. She had her cameo in this film as well. I wasn't unsure, but then I just know we saw a lot of porn being watched on what I thought was a laptop, but then I saw a landline in the home.
Hey. There was a lot of porn watching.
Which again, like, no judgment, but I wasn't sure. Like, I was like, was he safe? Can you consent to that if you're on the spec? Like, there was questions that I had.
This film kept it real.
Very real. And that is why I give this film 4 out of 5 claps for the film itself. For the lead actor, do better.
You mean do better in real life?
In real life, do better.
But in terms of performance, I don't think you can do better.
4 out of 5. 4 out of 5.
I give the film Magazine Dreams 3 out of 5 claps, but I would give Jonathan Majors' performance 5. Like I said, if nothing happened in his personal life and this film was released when it was supposed to be released off that huge buzz it generated at Sundance, At the very least, he gets the Oscar nomination with an outside shot to win. Just knowing what laid ahead in the future.
Agreed.
I was trying to think, like, what's Denzel's all-time best performance? What's Don Cheadle's all-time best performance? You know, what's Idris Elba's all-time best performance? And this one stacks up right there with all their all-time best performances. It really does.
You're right. And this is a story that really needs to be shared and told. I think there are a lot of males, a lot of Black males.
Preach.
Dealing with these type of things. When I was watching him, I saw some, my brother's uncles, cousins,
lots of family members,
like
neighbors, colleagues.
Like, it just resonates and it's touching. And again, it's sad that it won't get shared like it should. Even the bodybuilding community, like that in and of itself is
interesting. It was interesting.
Major.
All right, as you can see, we always got notes and we have lots of notes, but we appreciate y'all for chilling with us, sticking with us. And if you got notes, let us know and check back in next week for our notes on all, and I mean all, the latest releases.
Don't forget to subscribe and like the We Got Notes podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you listen to podcasts.